This is my market review for July 18th, 2023 using ICT concepts on MES and MNQ. So in my video yesterday, I discussed how this was my target, this daily buy side back from April on MES, and likewise MNQ had some daily buy side from January. And those were my targets. I was thinking based off of what we did today on smaller time frames, we may come down into these daily fair value gaps before going up to those buy side targets. But we can see we just expanded up through the daily buy side targets. So let's look at the hourly here. You can see yesterday we failed to make that lower low. That was on MES and MNQ right here. And then we shifted up, marked out these hourly fair value gaps here and here. MNQ almost entered that, but did not. And then this AM session, we had news driver 8:30 a.m. We got that Judas swing down, and then just a run up the rest of the day to take out London highs, PM highs, and that daily buy side target. You can see here on the hourly today, if you use the hourly with ICT concepts, you really got no entry into this long move. So we'll drop down into smaller time frames. And what I like to do when I start the day off, I usually look at the charts between 8:30 and 9. What I like to do is I like to set out two levels and then see if we get a reversal with displacement out of those and then take my target. So when I sign on for the day, I'm doing my pre-market prep, I mark out these lows. So this morning, this is what I marked out. So we have this 15-minute fair value gap here. I marked the consequent encroachment level of that, which is just above this buy side here. These relative equal highs that aligns with the London high that was formed. And then we also have these relative equal lows. Now, why did I pick this one and not this one? Because we can see here, this is yesterday's lunch low versus this is just kind of an overnight low. I like the London session highs and lows, AM session highs and lows, lunch highs and lows, and PM session highs and lows. So that's why I picked this one. So I wanted to see, once we took this, were we going to expand down further and enter into this hourly fair value gap, or are we going to displace up on multiple indices, MES, MNQ, YM, and potentially take out London highs using this as a target, that consequent encroachment, and then potentially take out the PM high here. And we can see, took out those lows, moved up, entry in here in this fair value gap. To then run up, take out PM session highs with another entry in there. Now you can tell that it's a higher probability play here, even though you're entering after a main target has been taken, which was actually yesterday's high. Entering in here, there's displacement in here, so it's more probable that it's going to continue to expand up. You could use the high of day as a target, and then you could potentially even draw these fibs here and here, 0.5 fib, and target the 0.5 and -1 Fibonacci levels for targets if you don't want to hold all the way up to the daily buy side. You can see there, right, that reversal down, that's pretty coincidental that it hit that 0.5 fib mark before, coming back down for another entry. And then obviously ran up the rest of the day. So let's look on 5 minute now. I'll remove those Fibonacci's. For 5 minute here, here's that Judas swing down prior to the 9:30 open. New York session open, came down a little bit, shifted up, perfect entry right in here. Now I'm going to note that looking at MNQ, right around this time, because this is the silver bullet play on MES, right? Entry right there at 950, between 950 and 1010. We're looking for an entry, but I personally did not take that entry because while we had a perfect setup on MES, we did not have that displacement on the 5 minute on MNQ. It actually went further down for a new low a day. So that showed that more probable would be stopped out. Instead, though, what you can look at is out of here, we get another 5 minute fair value gap right here. And then we get a nice entry here at 10:30, expansion up, another entry here on the 5-minute, expansion up, another entry here on the 5-minute, expansion up, another entry in here on the 5-minute, run up to that daily buy side. So there were multiple entries on here. I wouldn't have taken this one. I'm not going to mark that, but you can take an entry here. Stock goes below that low. So high risk or high risk ratio. So you either just decrease your trade size, or sometimes what I like to do is I'll draw the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. That'll be my entry. Right there, follows it perfectly. Take one off here for a 1-to-1 R-to-R, and then up here where you can target those fib levels that I drew out earlier. And then once again, get another entry here. Stop there, target that high. And you can take another entry in here. There you go. Move these CEs. And now let's drop down to the 1 minute. And we're going to see right here, 1 minute fair value gap entry. There is your silver bullet play right here. Take that up to the PM session highs. Then you can hold for the daily buy side. Again, what I like to do, because I don't like to hold all day, I like to draw out these fibs and get some additional targets. I don't like that one. I like this down here. And we'll do that. 0.5 fib. There you go. Right there. 0.5 fib. That could be target 1, PM session high, -1 fib. Then you could hold for buy side. We could put in the -2 fibs here as well. And -2. There it is. And like I said, it's interesting. If you do these fibs right, you can see price consolidates at the -0.5. Price expands through this PM high to the -1 level, consolidates for a little, goes up, touches back down around that point or 1.0 level, then goes all the way up to this -2 Fibonacci level before coming back down to enter this 5-minute fair value gap and this 1 minute order block. Shift up, get another entry here. That's not fair, but if we look on the 2 minute there, you probably get better indication of an entry. Oh, okay, I lied. I'm going to delete that. But there is a significant move up out of this order block. And what I like to look at too is, hey, we hit these main targets. We took out PM session high. We tried to shift down. Had we taken a short here, we would have been stopped out, right? Our stop would have went there. So that's indicative that we're going to at least try and take high day again, which we do. So had we entered in here just on some of these down close candles, put a stop below the bottom of this order block, could have shifted up, taken one off here, and then held for daily buy side target. So that's what I have for MES on the day. If you look at MNQ, pretty similar, but again, we don't have that silver bullet play at 950. Instead, we took out the lows. So what I like to do is when I'm trading, I have MES on the left-hand side, and then I have MNQ on the right-hand side. And I just see what aligns. What I like to do is I really have rules. So my ideal play is we've taken out a target, right? Lunch lows. Took out that target. And then I like to see displacement on all three of these indices, MES, MNQ, YM. And I also like to see it going the opposite way on DXY. So let's look at DXY around, what time was that entry on NQ? Right here, around 10 o'clock, right? So we look at 10 o'clock on all these indices. 10 o'clock, expansion up on MES, expansion up on MNQ. Let's look at YM, expansion up on YM at 10 o'clock. And let's look at DXY. Boom, expansion down on DXY. Ideal play right there. So anyway, here is a long entry on MNQ, fair value gap in there. Just move that over a little bit. And you could have taken a long in here. Stop below this down close candle. Oops. And we could have targeted these relative equal highs. I'll go over that daily range opening gap in just a moment. Could use that as a target as well. Then targeted lunch highs, targeted this 0.5 fib level, which came from right there. Consequent encroachment of that hourly wick from yesterday's afternoon session. And then we expanded into the daily buy side. We go down to the 15-minute. Oh, I'm sorry. We go to look at further entries on the 1 minute. Huge play here, right? No real entry unless you want to take a risky entry on a down close candle. And you get sort of some choppy action, fake shift down. And let's see if we shift it down at 12:24. This is during lunch, so I don't take those plays, but let's just see. Had you taken this play during lunch hour where price is not necessarily algorithmic, you would have been stopped out of the short, right? Then we expand up. Take MNQ right here. Here's another long play. This hourly fair value gap. And have a wide stop. Target all the way up to the daily buy side target. Again, you get other entries in here. You get an entry right here on these down close ones. And there's some entries in here. Look at that little 1 minute fair value gap just to take it all the way up to that daily buy side. So that's really all I have for today. The next major news event is Thursday. What I'm really looking for is just to see what price action does. You know, we hit a main target today. We don't have major news events tomorrow. So I may sit out tomorrow. I'm just going to watch and see what price action does. Maybe try and take my 5 points during the silver bullet plays during those macro time frames. And, you know, I'll be totally okay sitting out. Made almost $200 profit. Chase some plays today. Could have made a little more, but happy with that. My first day with my funded account. So thank you guys. If you like these videos, I'm going to keep putting them out, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.